Hey everyone, I would like to welcome back to the show Chemi Rosenfeld, who is our annual celebration of TWS guest. Chemi,
How are you, Yossi? How's it going?
doing really well.
I know this is literally like conflict karaoke style, but it's a real honor to have you back for the second anniversary. Not second anniversary from TWS. This is our second podcast anniversary. I really appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, let's get this show started.
Someone like you really has to come on more often because you've been with me since the beginning, since 5 years
Well,
ago, since now.
it's 11
Actually,
years ago.
everyone, I don't know if you know this, but Chemi is the one that pushed me to start the podcast.
I was. I was. That's one of my very. Sorry, one second. Just changing. That's actually one of my accomplishments. I'm really happy that we're able to push you to do the podcast. And you've had some amazing, amazing guests this year. You had some in the past year. I mean, just some unbelievable guests. And you had some amazing hosts. And people from either from the business line, from some CEOs to a manager. You were recently somebody with stocks, I believe, as well.
Yeah, we had Chad Neto in
Chad,
to discuss at great lengths the SEC stopping the DWAC ticker to the
yeah, I know.
merge. They're not stopping it. They're stalling the merger between DWAC and TMTG,
Yeah,
which stands for Trump Media Technology Group. Yeah, this year
you
we
also,
accomplished a lot.
yeah, we did.
We did
Yossi, who do you have in mind for this upcoming year in podcasts, if I may ask?
so. I would love to interview the great Van Laar. She's a great reporter. I would love to interview some congressmen, maybe. It's time to grow the podcast. We were talking yesterday, you and I, about what I need to accomplish in TWS's fifth year.
Correct. Because
We
we've
need,
accomplished, I think 2022 was a very strong year for you, I believe. And just, besides just a podcast and besides just your website, your reviews is one thing that's unbelievable. I wait for them nightly. And you actually had the chance this year to actually do some reviews on some real serious companies. I write reviews about none other than what's that word that Elon Musk calls Trump's thing again?
drop it.
Trump. And here we go.
Yes, we reviewed Getter. We reviewed Parlor. We reviewed Minds. We reviewed um, Disfluence again because they redid their
They never
platform.
did. Which one
And
would you
we also
say?
reviewed Truth Social.
Correct.
What?
Which of these would you say that you was challenging for you? Which one did you say? Which you find a little bit like it's good, but it needs some sort of improvement.
So I'll tell you this
You
much.
know,
Truth Social,
not saying yeah,
Truth Social wasn't really cooperating with my review. I was actually told June of 2022 that they're not going to cooperate at all with the review. But the point of the review isn't really for me to work with them and give them a chance to give their answers. The point of the review is actually for me as an unbiased reviewer to give the reader a real, honest review of if the platform is censorship, if the platform is not censorship, what's going on, is the platform following their own rules, is the platform buggy, is about that's the job of the review. Not to give them an opportunity to explain themselves, and not to give them an opportunity to wiggle themselves out. The review is for me to actually hold them accountable. That is the point of the reviews.
Right. Right. Do you find it between Getter and Truth Social, between those two? Number one is, by the way, is I don't know if we have to update your listeners about the Kanye West with Getter. I
Kanye
believe
West
not
with
not
Carla. Kanye West
Father.
is now
My apologies. My apologies. Yeah. So we maybe just tell some people a little bit about it, like what happened over there.
Kanye West said a couple things that don't vibe well with the truth. Happens to be he was picking on a whole religion. He might have issues with some Jews, but the religion as a whole is not really um bad. He claims that we control a lot of things. Jews do not control a lot of things. If we do control a lot as much things as he says, there will be freedom of speech for all because a lot of Jews get censored.
Correct. Talking about censored, I think you know about that. By the way,
Let me
congratulations
just
on
inter-
getting uncensored.
Let me just interject right
Congratulations.
here.
Yeah.
November 4th, 2020. The day that Trump lost his election, stolen, however you, the viewer, want to say it. I was calling out Twitter from the world supported Twitter account and my personal account, Yossi 1997, for banning a very good friend of mine's news Twitter account. Within seconds of me pulling Twitter out, I got banned. I was very shocked to see that I got banned. I didn't get an email for either account to see that I got banned.
It,
Thanks to
it,
Elon
it, it,
Musk.
yeah. Continue with Elon Musk. Yes.
Thanks to Elon Musk, I got a WhatsApp from a friend of mine saying that my accounts are back. I didn't get an email saying that my accounts are back. My accounts came back without me getting an email about it.
Right.
Just like they disappeared, they came back.
Let me ask you a question. Now that we've done reviews for Getter and Truth Social and other platforms as well, if I'm talking about, if let's just say, for instance, that I was a Republican and or a Democrat, for whichever party it is, and on November 4th, I had an opinion, I would be like, yeah, I do strongly believe that the election was stolen for whatever reason. Isn't it against their constitutional right or against my constitutional right? I mean, freedom of speech should, regardless of which party it is, if it was a Democratic Party that was running and it was vice versa, and I was a Democrat Party and the Republicans won, and if I was upset about it or I had a feeling that it was stolen for any reason, I don't have to necessarily bring the proof of it. I have this feeling, a friend of mine told me, a very reliable source told me that, yeah, he knows of that there was some inside work going on and elections were rigged. Against constitutional rights for banning somebody for not, doesn't this go against the entire democracy for freedom of speech?
It does go
And
against.
would you see Truth Social or Getter ever going in that type of direction? If let's just say Truth Social, let's just say in 2024 that a Democrat wins, or vice versa, a Republican wins, and there are Democrats on Truth Social. It's for all. It's for all. Am I correct?
Yes.
It's not
I'm
just.
going to
It's not just
clarify.
a. Sure, go ahead. Vijay.
I'm going to clarify one thing. When
Go ahead.
Twitter decided to ban, let's say Twitter decided to ban Republicans for saying that the election was stolen, right? So Twitter has the right to do that if it's a private company. But when it's a public company and they're doing things on the at the whim of the government, when the government says censor for COVID misinformation or censor for election misinformation, that is a violation of the Constitution. If Trump decided to ban someone on Truth Social for something he didn't like, that's not free speech. Don't claim to be free speech, but they have the right to do so.
Let me ask you a question. If there's a Republican wins in 2024, right? Let's just say hypothetically in 2024 a Republican wins, and there's Truth Social fans who are Democrats on True Social, and they go onto the platform and they say it was a rigged election. Democrats were supposed to win. Whoever it is, they don't want to nominate. If it was Joe Biden or somebody else. Do you think, in your mind, by doing the review, do you think that True Social would ban Democrats for speaking out, or if it was, yeah, do you think that True Social would ban Democrats and say, hey, that is false information?
No, it's not up to the platform to decide what's misinformation
Why is it that Twitter was able to get away with it?
because the government was telling Twitter to do so,
The
as was
government.
evident in the Twitter files that Elon Musk is dropping slowly but surely.
One thing, you're telling me that the government was behind. The government was behind the fact the government was telling Twitter to ban people.
Yes.
It wasn't based on the fact that Twitter is a conservative. Sorry, that Twitter is more Democrat, so the Democrats automatically were leaning towards that side.
Nope. Government was telling. As a matter of fact, our Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who I was very actively against, tried using his
You
government
were.
power. Tried using his government power to attack Rep Matt Gates and trying to get him banned because he didn't like his views. He contacted Twitter and said the ban his account. A government official, yes, Kevin McCarthy, I'm talking to you, cannot tell someone to censor someone. Kevin McCarthy, you
Who do you think
violated
was
your
behind?
office. What?
Who do you think was behind? Who do you think was behind the 2020? Do we have any names in the government?
We have names, but I do not know. So I'm not gonna say anything.
But you saying that there's sources out there that Elon Musk is slowly but surely giving out those names.
Yes. One of the names that we are definite behind the censorship is Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff must step down from Congress immediately because he violated his oath of office.
I hope that there's like some kind of breadcrumbs of proof. That would be beautiful.
Oh, Adam Schiff is in the Twitter files. That's
Adam
the proof.
Schiff is in the Twitter file.
That was Kevin McCarthy.
Do you think that they directly went to Jack Dorsey?
They went to Yoel Roth, who was the head of trust and safety.
Yorroth was the guy that resigned. Am I correct?
Yes.
Wow. Do you see something like this ever happening with Parler, Getter, True Social?
I certainly hope not, and I do not think so. But nothing is out of, unfortunately, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Actually, Gab is out of the realm of possibility. We'll talk about Gab shortly.
All right. Let me ask you another question about 2023. Where do you see Elon Musk taking Twitter? Let me ask.
I'm actually not sure of how pro free speech he is. We did a whole episode about that.
I know.
He talks about hate speech and misinformation. Let me be absolutely clear. It's not to the platform to decide what is misinformation. It's up to the public. The news organizations cannot say something is misinformation or something is not misinformation. It's up to the public. If it's true or not, that is why I do the news roundup. You do a nightly news roundup on my WhatsApp, on my website,
Yeah,
and
whoever's not subscribed out there, please reach out on Yossi's website because you actually get truth. Versus, we're not going to use other names who don't verify their news. But we know we're not going to say anything or anyone's name out there. But there's unfortunate other people out there that are not verifying the news. They're copy and pasting it without verification. And I know I'm going very off topic. And you have called them out multiple times. Yes, that's all. You can continue.
Chemi, you're talking about our private conversations now.
I had to share. I had to share it. I had to share it.
Oh, throw
So
me under
so
the bus.
again, uh, have you seen Twitter like batting people? Okay, so I know like he's like, yeah, they're talking about reinstating Trump, and you got your account back,
Trump
but
got reinstated. Just for the public, Trump did get reinstated the first
he
account.
did get reinstated,
He just
but
didn't come back.
he's not going to come back, is he?
To me and you guys, I think he should. Because he has 80 million followers on Twitter versus 4 million or something on Truth Social. Where's the bigger reach? If he wants a chance of winning the 2024 election,
He's going to have to reach out to the world.
come on. Come on, guys. It's not stupidity at this point. It's not even a genius to say that. I mean, common sense.
He opened up True Social Wallet because he needs the money. Come on.
He opened up Truth Social so he could have a voice. And he has a voice,
Okay.
but
He has a voice, but not Twitter gave him back his platform. And he knows that he always has a backup, you know?
he didn't put out a truth on Truth Social first and then a tweet. But like, let's be real.
It's kind of a mistake. Yeah. It's not like he has 60 million or 50 million and then there's 80 here. Right. He has his whole voice is basically on Twitter. That was where most people got their news from every morning. They opened up Twitter. What's Shep saying this morning? Let me read. Let me read his nonsense.
Yep. I'll never forget Trump's tweets.
Who do you have in mind of reviewing next? Anybody else?
Right now, I'm
Who's
not looking at reviews, even though reviews could come up during our 5th year. Um, but what I will say is that I'm really focusing on the podcast, growing the podcast, maybe extending the amount of podcasts that we release a week. I didn't say anything. You'll only hear this on this podcast and nothing else.
I think that what you said before was really important. Reaching out, having some government officials. If you want to reach out to some Congress people, some people from the Senate.
Well,
I think
I will
that's big.
say, a year ago we released our anniversary podcast, and we spoke about having someone. We didn't want to say his name because we weren't sure if he was going to come on. He didn't come on. Chemi
Right.
wanted to release his name. I don't know if Chemi even knows who he is anymore.
Who is he?
We were going to have. We reached out to Rand Paul to come onto this podcast.
I remember him. Yeah, I definitely remember him. Yes.
Now we're going to have some government officials on this podcast. Maybe we should even have AOC.
Well, breaking news today. Hello. Why isn't it mentioned yet?
I know what you're
Elon
talking about.
Omar.
Ilhan Omar, the racist anti-Semite. To quote a friend of ours. Um, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but this person from England. If you listen to this podcast, yes, I'm quoting you, racist anti-Semite. Ilhan Omar decided to say stupid things about Jews. It's all about them Benjamins and all about this and that, and Jews hate Muslims and all that. When
Right.
Israel has Muslims part of their government, so
Correct.
I'm sick and tired of the lies and abuse. But let's be real. She could not be on the foreign committee if she has a bias against Israel. Now, if someone had a bias against another country, they don't either belong on the committee. Only if you're unbiased.
Right. If you're in government, yeah, there's no room for that. There's definitely no room for that. But let me. I want to go back to. Oh, we're planning on getting some government officials out there I would even say even to go into local law enforcement and speak to people, you know, because it was interesting. I was watching an actually a very interesting documentary on YouTube about how police captains, since there was a lot of movements in the last 2 years, and how they're educating police. I would love to see a nice podcast with like some senior captain about policing and stuff like that. You know, going into a
Well,
whole different border area, a whole different area. I would love to see something like that. Is that a possibility that you'd be in for that?
for me, it's actually a very big possibility. I have some connections here in
I
Lakewood, even though
we know that.
my connections.
We we know that.
I
I
mean,
get
you of all
some.
people know about my connections.
I know.
We're
I'm
not
very aware of it.
we're not going to say any names
No, we
or
don't have to
how.
mention names. Then, nah, we don't have to even get. We don't even have to get there. What I'm saying is, yeah, I want to see, yeah. So we're going to do the podcast, which is awesome. We're going to keep the reviews open for sure for an
Yeah,
opportunity out
the
there.
nightly news roundups are going to continue. They might get better and better.
Not
But
they might, they will get better.
listen, I'm very optimistic. See where TWS goes. TWS has 3 segments: the reviews, which actually got us started, the nightly news roundups, and then the podcast. But the nightly news roundup actually has another segment: the news on WhatsApp status. And very soon, now that we have our World Supporter Twitter account back, World Supporter will be tweeting out news. It will
That's
break
wonderful. I
news
remember that.
faster than fast. What?
I remember that.
It will break news faster than fast.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. And pretty soon, we'll be the ones breaking news.
Yes,
As of
definitely.
now, well,
Definitely, definitely. I want to ask you another question before you got to go. I want to know if you're seeing. I just want to ask you a question. I want to go back to the Elon Musk thing, right? There was something that Elon Musk said about hiring a CEO if he finds the right person. You remember that?
yes.
That part is where do you see it going with Elon Musk and hiring CEO? Do you see him staying as the CEO of Twitter the entire time? Do you see him? Where do you see their growth right now? Has their numbers progressed since he's gotten the CEO? I know that he's on ban a lot of people. Do you see them being as successful as they were? Less successful? Like, what are you seeing with Elon? And what do you think his plans are for the future with Twitter?
It's hard to tell, but he's being very candid. I actually just saw that they are going to make ID verification, meaning you have to prove that you're a real person. You have to show your government ID to get verified. You can't get
That's not
verified.
that's not a terrible thing.
It's not. I mean, someone told me, he's like, Yossi, what happens if there's two Yossi Schmidts or there's two Chemi Rosenfelds?
Correct.
So, I mean, Rosenfeld's a very common name. Chemi might not be, but the point is, let's
Schmidt
say there's
is
two.
kind of common.
What?
Schmidt is very common.
Yeah, but how do you spell it?
Oh, SCDMID. Right, I'm just saying in general. So,
SCHMIDT.
right, right. So having an ID, yeah. What else do you see for him? What else do you see Twitter having?
What else do I see Twitter having? Um, a lot
Where do you
more
see them
free speech.
growing? Where
A
do you
lot
see
more
them
free speech
growing?
is in their horizon. Whether it's entirely free speech, that I do not know.
Where do you see them growing as? Have they grown since Elon took over?
Well, actually, not really. Yeah, I mean, yes, but the engagement is so is down lately on Twitter. I saw a lot of people locking their accounts so that way people that actually follow them can see it to grow the algorithm. Elon Musk saw that, and Elon Musk actually locked his Twitter account down to test out the feature. And he says, you know what? There's an issue here. This is going to be
Again,
fixed within a week.
if you block your account,
Then people that actually follow you can see it.
that you block your account,
Yeah.
Why
Meaning,
would it?
the, getting people were not having as much engagement, so they decided to lock their account. So when they locked their account, the people that actually followed them all of a sudden started seeing their accounts again. So it's very weird. So Elon Musk said, "Let me test this out." He locked his account for a day, and he says, "Yeah, it's an issue, and he's gonna fix the issue within a week." He said.
When was this?
Well, he just said this about 14 hours ago, to be exact.
Wow. So you're saying they're not heading in such a great direction?
They are being transparent. That's what I will say.
Do you think? I have a question to ask you. It's a little bit, and it's a little. I know that you might not want to answer, and if you want to say no comment, I respect it. But do you think we should go back to right now that Elon Musk is running Twitter? Forget the getters and the truths and everybody, and bring back the party. Do you know what
Bring
I
back
mean?
what?
Bring back the Twitter party. One platform right now that is going to be more transparent. Because right now I feel like there's just too many little platforms.
I mean, I'm surprised that you think that I'm going to say no answer, because the answer is something I've been very transparent about. You do not get censored. Do not censor yourself. The only way to beat big tech. Actually, we forgot to mention this. I can't believe we forgot to mention this. This year,
Go ahead.
the Yossi Schmidt show got banned on YouTube.
Correct. Yes.
YouTube
Yes, I
censored
remember that.
YouTube censored one of my videos talking about the COVID vaccine. Guys, the only answer is to double down and triple down. I am not going
Correct.
anywhere, YouTube. I am staying rock solid. Sorry, YouTube. You wanna go somewhere? Come and meet me. See where that goes.
I'm really happy about that. I think it was great.
I actually have one more thing to say, Chemi.
I'm very excited. Sure, go ahead.
I have one more thing to say. Last year at the end of the episode,
I'm all
we
ears.
teased something about merch. Chemi,
Yes.
this year, let's
Yes.
make it a reality.
Yes. All right. We're doing it. We're doing it. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're doing sweatshirts. What are we doing?
We're doing caps. No, actually, we're doing coffee
Okay.
cups.
We need.
Coffee cups.
Okay, we're doing coffee mugs. Are we doing anything about like left ears, left? No, none of that.
No, we don't steal Daily Wire, Big Con.
Yeah, we don't do that. I'm gonna say coffee mugs. And I'm gonna say sweatshirts. It's chilly out
Guys,
there.
let's do this.
All right, so
Let's do this.
let's do it like this. Okay, so we're gonna add. I think by February, let's call it February 10th. We can make it happen by February 10th. We'll go on the
No,
website.
that's pushing it because this
No.
episode is being released.
No, all I'm saying is to do the actual add to the website. Then
We're not
afterwards,
adding
we
it to
can.
the website. But I will tweet it from my personal account, twitter.com/YossiS1997. But it will happen very
Definitely
shortly.
happen. So
At the end of February, definitely. But February 6th, today is February 6th. It's being released on our birthday, on our anniversary.
On our anniversary, yeah. We're gonna do merch. I want to do caps. I want to do sweatshirts. Not only that, on our website, we're gonna have a link to purchase it. We're gonna do a link on the website where we're able to purchase it. And listen, guys, each individual sweatshirt or t-shirt or cap or coffee mug that you purchase. Well, number one is Yossi is gonna send a personal note. I'm just letting you know. She sent us personal note, a personal love, and it'll be individually wrapped by Yossi and none other. I don't even think that the UPS people are gonna handle it. There's talks that Yossi might even fly down to wherever you are to handle it.
No,
No, we're not
Yossi's
gonna
not
do
flying
that.
down because Yossi does
We're
have a
not doing
life.
that. Yeah. We're not doing that. But your support is gonna grow our website. and we're able to reach out to more people in government because that's basically what we want to do is want to bring on more transparency. We want people, more government officials to be on this podcast show. And you know, it's funny, something it's something that off camera I spoke with Yossi about is about even having more like something that I think that your entire website, your entire podcast, and your reviews and everything that you stand behind your website is to be kind of transparency for both parties, if it's Republican or if it's Democrat. And even if we can get some parties together from the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, have like a three conversation, a podcast with more than one people out there, because I think it's just something that we don't see so much. We see, for instance, we see a lot of for instance, let's just call it, let's say Ben Shapiro from the Republican side. We see a lot of, and all his guests Republican, and then we see from the left side, we see is, I want to see kind of, your view. I want to hear your
Coming
view.
together.
I want to hear your view coming together. I think Yossi, you'd be the perfect narrator when it comes to
You mean
opportunities like
moderator,
this.
but yes. Let's
Moderator,
do
yes,
this.
my bad. I think you'd be a perfect moderator. I think it's to get, and hear from different people's ideas. If it's people who are behind tech, if it's people who are in the Congress or Senate or in state legislators, or like I even said, who are in a local chief from different towns, use our connections. And I'm just saying is this support is going to go a very long way. It's going to go a very long way. It's going to be a great year
All
for
right,
the
let's
whole
make
team of
merch
support.
happen. Let's make
We're going to
merch
make merch
happen,
happen. Support
and let's
support
make the
TWS.
podcast grow. And if you
We
have
will
a
be.
platform that you want us to review, hit me up on Twitter or anywhere.
One
Sammy,
more
it's
question,
been
Yossi.
great having you.
Thank you so much. One last question. I want to ask one last question before I head up. Google.
I can hear you. Well,
You can hear me?
now I can hear you.
Oh, I see this. I want to ask you a question about Google. I've been seeing some. I've been seeing some. I saw some news about FBI being involved with Google about these raids and stuff like that. Have you heard of anything?
Well, FBI is controlling big tech, so yes.
Do you think that they're? Do you think that the actual website itself, the actual company, has anything to do behind it?
I think the FBI is controlling it. It's not that the Google's doing it by themselves.
This is a whole long conversation that
It's
we
time for
have to
another
have.
podcast. I mean, next week you're
All
coming
right,
back on.
now next week we're gonna do. Can we do in 2 weeks?
We can see.
I want to do like in 2 3 weeks. I want to really go behind this whole FBI thing about the government, about pencil neck. What's his name?
You're
Adam
hearing,
Schiff.
you're hearing an episode in the planning.
I think if it's in the planning, I really want to go behind it because I want to break it down, see what's going on, how they're getting away with it. But thank you, Yossi,
Guys,
so much for inviting.
stay
Thank you
tuned
so
for
much for
another episode
inviting
with
me.
Sammy. Sammy is our annual February 6th guest. Sammy, TWS owns you a lot.
Anything,
Keep on being Sammy.
anything for the organization. Thank you
I'll
so
see you
much for having
around,
me,
guys.
Yossi.
Have a wonderful day
Take it
and
easy.
only good things. Sammy, any last words?